Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're gonna get right to and be real frank about patching. I found out that my son needed to wear a patch. He was legally blind in one eye and we had no idea. His other eye was like sharpshooter, like he could see perfectly through it, but the other eye was not working. We're not gonna go too much into detail about my story. What I'm here to talk to you about is how to prepare your toddler and what you can anticipate happening when you start patching your child. All right, so to begin, the most important thing is to do your research. There's a lot of information out there, so it takes 10 to 15 minutes for your brain to start registering and using that lazy eye. So when you put the patch on, anticipate 10 to 15 minutes of chaos, right? Your kid is blind for those first 15 minutes, and I mean, every kid is different, but the first 10 to 15 minutes tend to be the most difficult. So try to do a lot of distractions. We usually put the patch on and he'll get like a sweet treat, like a lollipop or some TV time, or we'll go outside, something that'll distract him right away. 10 to 15 minutes are gonna be the hardest. The first 2 to 3 days when patching are so difficult, and then hopefully it gets a little better. Again, every child is different, so I can't speak to everyone, but that's our experience, and most experiences are similar. So screen time is actually very beneficial for them while they have the patch on. It's like exercising the eye because it's attention to detail. So reading books, screen time, apps, TV, playing with like Legos or something that he has to really pay attention to has been helpful for us. So these little things that really exercise the eye are really helpful. All right, so another really good thing is to read some books, right? Read some articles for yourself, but also start to find books that you find helpful. This is Jacob's eye patch. This is a newer one. I liked it better than The Patch, which is a different book about a girl wearing a patch. This is about a little boy wearing a patch, and it was a good story. But books like The Patch or Jacob's eye patch are really helpful. There's characters on TV shows that wear patches, so do your research, find stuff that you know is going to help prepare your child for what's coming. So that brings me to my next little tip is to prepare your son or your daughter for what's coming, because it's going to be a hard adjustment and it's not really fair to just expect them to put a patch on and go on living their lives. They need to understand what's happening, why it's happening. Obviously, maybe don't use the medical terms. You can, bring it down to their level, but try to make it something that they're going to understand. So my son knows the patch is helping his other eye get stronger. All right, so my next piece of advice is to prep yourself. Have plenty of chocolate and wine and whatever your stress foods or activities are, exercise, whatever it is, make sure you're ready to utilize those, because nothing is worse than seeing your child in pain or struggling or having a difficult time. Go outside, go for a swim, do whatever it is that will make you feel better. Call a friend. Take care of yourself during the first few days especially. So my next piece of advice is to go to CVS, buy a reusable patch, even if you don't end up actually using that patch. We went to CVS, he picked out it was just a plain black patch, but he bought glitter glue and then he bought little gems to put on it, and he had so much fun designing it and putting the gems all over it. There's a bunch of different brands when it comes to patching, what patches there are. Amazon has a ton of them. I have tried 3 different types and I have them right here. Seaworthy ended up being our favorite, but we tried Ortho Pad, and Ortho Patch. See, that's a little tricky. But in the beginning, make sure you make it fun and find different types of patches, different brands that might work for your family. So, like I said, make it fun. So Ortho Pad actually has these that you can buy. These are reward charts, and if you can buy these separate. I think it was $8 for 3 of these reward sticker charts. When he's done wearing it, his reward now is to fill the sticker chart, and once this is completely filled up, he gets a reward. He already did one, and we went to the aquarium. So it was a pirate ship, and once it was filled up, we took him to the aquarium, and he wore his patch there, and it was wonderful. It was nice to keep reminding him that he was working towards a bigger goal. In the meantime, we also used lots of bribery. I know I shouldn't even be saying this, but like he probably had like 3 or 4 lollipops a day the first couple of days because he'd start to peel it off and I'd be like, lollipop, let's get a lollipop, let's go get some chocolate. So, you know, having bribes and distractions like that, it only was for a couple of days. I was really worried. Okay, and my last thing that I want to talk to you about is to prepare your friends and family, because when my son has his patch on, he forgets that it's on. Like if we don't bring attention to it, he forgets about it. And I don't know if that's gonna be the case for you, but for us it is. So when we are going to get together with friends who haven't seen him in his patch, I will text the parents and be like, hey, just to give you a heads up, this is what's happening. He's gonna be wearing it. Maybe just talk to your kids about it. Have an elevator speech prepared. One of the first days that my son was wearing his patch, we went for a walk in the neighborhood and somebody asked, curiosity, oh, why are you wearing the patch? He has a lazy eye and we're working on strengthening the muscle. Done. That's it. And that's what I tell my son too. When we're going to the park, there might be strangers or new kids around. I tell him, what are you going to tell people? Or I ask him, what are you going to tell people when they ask you about your patch? Or if they ask you. So for me, we're working on strengthening the muscles in his eye. That's it. That's all people need to know. They're just curious. They're not asking. It's not a malicious thing. They're just genuinely curious. So those are my tips. Prep your kid, prep yourself, have bribes, prep your family. It's a lot of preparation, and just know that it's hard and it's gonna get easier. Those are my tips. I hope that's helpful, and I'm gonna have my 3-year-old hop on and give his tips now. Okay, so
the pants, then when we open the pants up, then we put on the eye.
Okay, so we are going to put on a seaworthy patch. He picked it out, and this is the tiger eye that he wanted to wear. So we're gonna put it on, right? So what do we do first? So I just patch, and we put it over, just a little bit over the nose, and then patch it over, and then I just try to do like a gentle slide. So it makes a nice little gentle seal. What is your favorite thing about wearing a patch?
Taking it off.
Okay, tell us about the patch.
The pants, we put it on, then when we put on it, we do this, and when it goes on, we leave it on there for 5 hours, then when we're done, we whip it off.
Yeah, and then what do you do with it?
And then we put on this patch on.
Perfect. And what do we do after we filled up your patch chart?
We go to the beach.
Yeah, that's our new reward, is going to be to the beach. The first one was for the aquarium. Why are you wearing your eye patch?
I went to the eye doctor and got drops, but they don't let us see. Then I put this on.
And it helps?
And it helps.
What did it do to this eye?
It helps it see.
It helps you see, right? It's making the eye
Stronger.
Yeah, it's making the eye stronger. Perfect.
Friends, it gets easier.
It gets easier.
And easier. And easier. And easier.
Do you?
And easier. And easier.
Yeah, and sometimes when we play, we get to wear our patch, right?
All day.
Yeah. My dude.
My dude.